Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. At this moment, I am Tristi Ananda from the Islamic University of North Sumatra. I am, as the leader of opposition, am going to oppose the statement given by the Prime Minister which relates to the motion that the House would ban our production and consumption of meat. First of all, I would like to define what production and consumption of meat is. Production is an attempt being done by someone or a group of people to make or to produce goods or things supplied for humans' needs. Meanwhile, consumption of meat is a human behavior to consume or to eat meat to gain protein and energy for the body. As the leader of opposition, I disagree with the arguments given by the Prime Minister about the banning of all production and consumption of meat. The first argument stated by the Prime Minister is that the production of meat causes suffering to animals. Therefore, the Prime Minister stated that the production of meat should be stopped. I disagree with this argument because animals are provided by nature as a part of supply for humans' needs. Meanwhile, as we know, farmers do not only kill the animals, they also cultivate it, so the populations of animals are still stable. For example, in the chicken farming, the farmers cultivate the eggs in order to grow the chicken, and the population of chicken are still stable. And also, meanwhile, as the PM stated for the second argument is about the cut of production and for meat consumption. So the PM stated that they would like to give company time to change animal farming business to another business. I do not agree with the statement, as we know that it is not easy to rebuild a business. By being farmers, they can support their financial. So if it stops, the rate of the unemployment in this country will be increased. It can negatively impact the society, for the crimes and poverty will possibly be increased. But the thing that I want to ask is that what is the solution? Is the government going to give the farmers another change or like job opportunity for them in order not to be unemployed? Also, in the third arguments stated by the government is that they would like to find people who keeps consuming meat to provide them not to eat, to persuade them not to eat meat. But it is a part of humans' right that cannot be ignored. As the vegans try to force non-vegans to eat meat, to not eat meat, it is non-vegans' right to refuse it. By the case that we saw in America, vegans came to a restaurant by bringing horns, and also they splashed blood everywhere and made people to watch the cruelty happens to the animal. It is considered as inhuman, because as a human we need to respect each other decision to eat meat or not to eat meat. And it is very extreme. It is indeed an extreme behavior to be done to the non-vegans. Also, in the fourth argument about the ban of desire to try different characters of meat, as the opposition, as we have stated, animals are cultivated, so even though the desire of trying new or different kinds of meat are increasing, it will not likely affect the populations of animals. About the health and nutrition, if we eat meat in a good portion, in a stable portion, it is good for health. But if we do not eat meat, it can be risky to not have enough nutrition for the body, since it can cause malnutrition. So for the environment, it is not harmful because, as we know that the animals are cultivated by the farmers, and also for the social tradition that should be stopped as stated by the government. It is actually a tradition or a social belief that needs to be respected. It is regenerated from a generation to another generation. So we cannot ignore that it is indeed a tradition that cannot be stopped or cannot be prohibited. Therefore, the goal is to keep my goal in giving these arguments is to keep the fabric that produces the meat open, because it will keep the stability of financial in the country, and it will not cause the highly increased unemployment in the country. Therefore, that's all my arguments as the leader of opposition. Thank you.